Hey everyone, what up? Mad Kaiser here, and welcome to another review. Last time I reviewed Sonic Mania, and now it's time to review the second game that was meant to celebrate Sonic's 25th anniversary, and is a sequel to Sonic Mania, and that is Sonic Forces. So, Forces. After my love of Mania, I was also looking forward on getting this game. Having both modern Sonic and classic Sonic again, alongside for the first time in Sonic history, creating your own avatar. And to see a world where Eggman has finally conquered it, with a new villain alongside famous Sonic villains like Chaos, Shadow, my favorite Metal Sonic, and Zavik? What's he doing here? I guess I'll roll it. I was looking forward to playing it. Now you may have noticed that during my videos that I love Sonic so much that in order to get ready for Forces, I decided to play Sonic Adventure 2. And then, months later, I finally got Sonic Forces on its day of release and did a Let's Play of it. So, how did the game turn out? Let's start with
Let's go!
So the story is about where Eggman finally defeats Sonic. And thus, Eggman has finally taken over the world. He succeeded in his ultimate goal, more so than Unleashed in color. But a small resistance stands in his way, comprised of other Sonic characters, who are all led by Knuckles. No, not that Knuckles, this Knuckles. They are also joined by the OC and Classic Sonic from another dimension, Sonic Mania. Together, Modern Sonic, Classic Sonic, and the OC join forces together to take down Eggman and retake the world. Now of course I'll be going to the actual story. So if you guys don't want any spoilers, you just go to this timestamp and you'll be safe. Okay? You all good? Okay. So, Eggman plans to unveil his new creation, which is intended to defeat Sonic once and for all. He attacks the city. Sonic, after going through another Green Hill level, managed to defeat some of Eggman's forces till Eggman reveals his ultimate masterpiece, with familiar faces including Shadow, Zavok, my favorite Metal Sonic, yay! And Chaos. And joining those four is the new guy, who manages to be
faster than Sonic!
Thus, the new guy and the others overpower Sonic till he's defeated. Eggman has finally taken over the world, and the Resistance, a small one at that, is fighting against Eggman. But without Sonic, all hope is gone. Till they're saved by the OC, the newest recruit, who manages to take Sonic's place and face against Eggman's forces as much as he can. Meanwhile, Tails is trying to fix Omega till he stumbled upon Chaos Zero, and rather doing what he normally does in Adventure 1 and beat the snot out of him, Tails instead just cowers in fear. Yeah. But that's okay, Classic Sonic steps in the way and kills Chaos. Tails learns that Classic Sonic has come from another dimension, rather than a timeline, and the dimension is most likely Sonic Mania, as I just mentioned. So he and Classic Sonic just venture through their broken world and discover what Eggman's up to. Meanwhile, the OC, who's doing a decent job of facing against Eggman's forces, takes a shuttle to the Death Egg and tries to free Sonic. Meanwhile, Sonic faces against Zavok, and after defeating Zavok, Sonic and the OC meet in the most awesome way possible. So then, after they escape the Death Egg, Sonic and the OC destroy most of Eggman's weapons facilities. Then Sonic meets Infinite, who's the new guy, and he pretty much duke it out with Sonic. Sonic defeats him, but then Infinite defeats him more. Then later, the OC doing more good job of, saving the world, while Tails and Classic Sonic discover what Eggman's plan is going to be, which he will unveil in
Just 3 short days, my plan will eliminate the bothersome lot of you.
In 3 days, I'll conquer the world. Think you can stop me?
day. They also learn that Infinite is been powered by the Phantom Ruby. And after Sonic meeting Shadow, the real Shadow, it turns out that the Shadow working for Eggman was a fake.
That was a fake.
I found you!
Including Zavok, Chaos, and Metal Sonic. They were all
Faker!
Oh, yeah, I know, they're all fakers. I also just love the fact that the real Shadow just did a roundhouse kick to take down that fake Shadow. That was pretty cool. So meanwhile, Knuckles has the guts just to attack Eggman's fortress that was in Metropolis now. And ends up being a misfire. Classic Knuckles! Then the OC and Infinite meet again. The OC has more confidence and defeats Infinite before Infinite tries to defeat him. Then the OC escapes, and the next plan is to learn on what the Phantom Ruby can be stopped. So, what do they do? The OC creates a distraction in Green Hill, while Sonic heads to
Find the computer room!
in Chemical Plant, and while Classic Sonic destroys the Death Thing.
Great shot, kid! That was 1 in a million!
Weakening the Phantom Ruby. They launch another attack on Metropolis, but it ends up nowhere as Eggman's true Phantom Ruby's power source was in Metropolis. Then sooner or later, Infinite pulls Sonic and the OC into null space, where nothing is there. They escape using the power of friendship. Then, soon, after taking back the majority of the world, the Resistance heads to Eggman's real fortress, and then Eggman reveals his ultimate plan. And what is that plan? Infinite uses the Phantom Ruby's power to bring the sun down, to burn everything, even Eggman and Infinite themselves. Right. But then the OC uses one of the Phantom Ruby prototypes he found to transport the sun back to where it was. Then Modern Sonic and the OC defeat Infinite one last time, and then Eggman has created a new plan. So what they do is destroy the Phantom Ruby in the reactor. But guess what? It was all a trap, cause those weren't the real Phantom Rubies, as the real Phantom Ruby was in Eggman's Death Egg robot all along, meaning he can create more enemies into a more powerful mech. Nice robot. So Classic Sonic, Modern Sonic, and the OC face off against Eggman. They have one last epic battle, and for 3 phases, they defeat him and send him to null space. He escaped the White Void generation, so he's gonna come back. Then Classic Sonic returns back to his home dimension. The Resistance disbands and builds up their world again, and Modern Sonic and the OC part way. And that's the story. Overall, it's not that good. It is interesting to see Eggman finally taking over the world and having Infinite as one of the main antagonists, but the plot is not that good, and the tone just changed too often. There's some moments where it's dark and serious, and some moments where it's just, light-hearted and stuff. Granted that this story was written by none other than Pontac and Graf. The same people who wrote Lost World story. And how did that go?
That was cool. Pun entirely intended.
Oh yeah, nowhere. But to be honest, it is a bit interesting. The story is passable. The plot, there's so many plot holes. Some of the characters are okay, I guess. I mean, modern Sonic is his usual one-liner cocky self, as he always has been. But at least he's bearable than Colors and Lost World. Tails is, however, downgraded than his usual self, being not only scared of Eggman's robot, but also of Chaos Zero. Why? You beat him before in an adventure, and now all of a sudden you're scared of him? Sorry, I had to clear that. Knuckles is not a good leader. Espio, Charmy, Vector, Silver don't really do that much anything. Amy is good at providing intel, I guess. Same as Rouge and Shadow. And Omega comes out of nowhere. And yeah, and there's too many plot holes. Eggman's just Eggman. Infinite is a cool villain, but he's underdeveloped. And we don't know that much about him. So yeah, the only character that has character development in this entire game is, of course, I'm not joking, the OC. The OC starts off being a decent fighter till the OC is more confident of not only defeating Eggman's forces but Infinite as well. The OC is strong on its own, he or she and whether it's without Sonic or with Sonic. So yeah, the OC is the developed character here. Nice. So though, the story's passable. It's not that good, but then again, it's not that terrible. I've seen worse Sonic stories before.
Who put you in charge? I see.
So yeah, now that we've got onto the story, let's find out what other things this game has.
Let's go!
Now we look onto the gameplay. Modern Sonic's gameplay is pretty much the same as Unleashed, Generations and Colors, with the whole boosting, homing attack, double jumping from the aforementioned colors, and of course 3D to 2D sections. The difference, however, they made was remove the drifting. That's right, they removed the drifting. And now the new homing attack only works when you're facing towards the targets and enemies, which is fine if you want to progress through a level and don't want to attack every single enemy, but if you do want to, you probably won't like it. But overall, Modern Sonic's gameplay is good. For classic Sonic's gameplay, well, it's pretty much 2D platforming and side-scrolling, being close to Generations gameplay and physics, and you also get the drop dash from Mania. But personally, I find his gameplay to be my least favorite in the game. His physics feel sometimes a bit loose and uncontrollable. There have been some times where I have been hit by enemies rather than me hit the enemy. It is not as good as Generations physics, and nowhere near as good as Mania's. Sure, I did get better at playing classic Sonic from time to time, but still it's my least favorite to play. It was clearly brought back just for nostalgia. Now we get on to the Avatar. No, not that one. No, not that one either. You know what I mean. So in this game, you get to create your own avatar, or DeviantArt OC material, whatever nonsense. From a dog to a hedgehog, male or female, you can put a color tone, victory pose, outfits, accessories, and even a voice and a respawn. And if you play through a level and complete a mission, you'll earn more items to customize your avatar and obtain upgraded versions of the respawn. The animal types have unique abilities, such as Bear can blow down enemies when doing a riot. Hedgehog can allow dropped rings to stay much longer after you take damage. Bird can make you double jump. There is also the aforementioned Whisper, a weapon provided for the avatar that are based on the particular wrist that can not only take down enemies but grapple through grapple points and trampolines. They have two actions. One is the basic attack, where you launch a long-range attack on a large number of enemies, and the other is a special action, where if you find a specific wisp that matches the Wisp-On, you'll be able to activate its special effect that can help you destroy enemies and progress through the level, but only till the gauge runs out. Wisp-Ons like the Burst Wisp, that can shoot out flames like a flamethrower and help jump mid-air. The Drill Wisp, that can perform a powerful drill-like charge on enemies and help dig through platforms. Asteroid, my personal favorite, that you can lock onto multiple enemies and shoot out asteroid-made clones. Yes, I am not making it up, and can create an invincibility shield, even though you can't be able to shoot it if you use that ability. Gameplay-wise, the Avatar plays very similar to modern Sonic, minus the whole boosting, instead using the Wisp-On. I do like the Avatar's gameplay. In fact, it might be my favorite to play in this game. It sort of reminds me of Adventure, and it's even more awesome that the Avatar is even shown in the cutscenes alongside its customized outfit, regardless of changes you probably want to make. And the fact that the Avatar plays a huge role in without being overshadowed by Sonic or even taking too much of the spotlight is truly amazing. And it makes you feel like you're actually in the game. Sure, you don't talk, but I think it's better, because you probably would have cringeworthy dialogue in it. And last, there is the tag team gameplay, in which some certain levels and bosses, you can play as both modern Sonic and the Avatar together at the same time, and switch between the two to decide which area is suitable. It's pretty much like Sonic Heroes, but unlike Heroes where you press a button to switch the characters, you have to press one of the character's respective controls, and if you do, you will control that certain character on which controls the character has. It does work, but sometimes can be tough and sometimes get difficult to be used. Say for example, you activate the Avatar's Wisp-On, which means you're playing the Avatar, but you accidentally pressed Sonic's boost control, which forced you, no pun intended, to be modern Sonic while boosting. It's not really easy to master this mechanic if it's your first try, but you get used to it. I did find it awesome on having both Sonic and me running together. So overall, I do like it. Just you need to get used to it, as the controls, if you're using a keyboard, are very complex. More so than Adventure 2 and Sonic Mania. If you're using a controller, it's much better. So overall, the gameplay is good, just not great. The levels are cool/decent, as the backgrounds and environments in the levels are visually stunning and amazing to look at. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for the overall level design, as the game had 3 level designers, hence why the level design is sometimes a bit of a mess, and not too memorable or appealing. I don't hate it that much, but the overall level design isn't that good. The game has only 7 levels with multiple stages within them. And of course, Green Hill and Chemical Plant have returned once again for the 3rd time. Why? Cause for nostalgia? It's just the same reason as classic Sonic is in this game. It is overall ridiculous, especially when those stages have been remade already with Generations and Mania. But I will give respect for the level designers, as Green Hill and Chemical Plant Enforcers has been remade with new pathways, routes, areas and even gimmicks that I had never seen before in the original version, thus giving it more depth. Other levels like City, Metropolis, Death Egg and Mystic Jungle, etc. have amazing environments and unique gimmicks, whether you love them or hate them, especially representing the game's apocalyptic tone. The bosses aren't that bad even. Sure, 2 of them have been recycled, but that's even less than Colors, Unleashed, and Heroes. They are very unique, challenging, and dare I say, even fun. My favorites would have to be the 2 battles with Infinite, Metal Sonic, and even the final boss, which is way better than Lost World's excuse for bosses. The soundtrack in this game does not disappoint, as you get amazing techno dubstep, synths, and guitar riffs from the modern Sonic levels, the catchy keyboard beats of the classics levels, even though some of the classic songs are terrible, and of course the beautiful and epic return of vocal themes for the Avatar level, alongside some awesome boss themes added in the mix. Then you have one epic soundtrack. My favorites would have to be Spaceport, Aqua Road, Sunset Heights, Egggate, Death Egg, Network Terminal vs. Sonic vs. Infinite, Fist Bump, and the theme of the final boss. Seriously, listen to some of them. Yep, just awesome.
Let's go!
Other than just playing the main story, there are also extra and secret missions. If you collect red rings to unlock them, that is. These involve evading against maze-throwing flying pods. Yep, I just said that. Alongside fire cannons and even run through vanishing paths. There's also the SOS missions, where you replay one of the levels you played in, but do special missions, like freeing your team members in a container, and playing as a rental avatar. There's also DLC, which is actually amazing because of the content it has, even more so than Generations. Seriously, Casino Nights Pinball. These DLC include Supersonic, where you can play as classic and modern Supersonic through their respective levels. You can even play modern Supersonic in the tag team levels. That's pretty cool, and I got it for free! Alongside that is also the Sega Pack DLC, where you can customize your avatar with outfits from other Sega games, including Jet Set Radio, Knights, Super Monkey Ball, and Puyo Puyo. There is also the Persona 5 DLC, where you can customize your avatar with the outfits that the nameless and signed protagonist from Persona 5 had. That's pretty cool, but I think the best DLC would have to be the Episode Shell DLC, where you can play, and it's been a long time, as Shadow the Hedgehog through some of Sonic's levels, but also in his very own DLC, which is a prequel to Force's main story. The story of it is where we see what happened before Eggman took over the world. and how we get to know Infinite's origin, even though it's not really a good story either.
I am not weak.
But it's cool to see Shadow being playable again, especially since Sonic Adventure 2. I mean, Heroes was okay, Shadow the Hedgehog was not, and don't get me started with Sonic 06. But yeah, it's fun to play Shadow, and his levels are filled with remixes of the levels of the games he has been, like a remix of White Jungle, where Starbliss / Vengeance is Mine, and even the remix of the Biolizard theme, Supporting Me. Those are pretty cool. And plus, as I said, you can also play as Shadow through many of Modern Sonic's levels. And if you have pre-ordered the game, you also would get a Shadow the Hedgehog costume for your avatar. The extra missions and SOS missions offer some replayability, to say the least. So I think that just makes the game at least a bit more fun.
Let's go!
Sonic Forces was a game that fans just got way too hyped for after the success of Sonic Mania. But the game isn't that bad overall. Yes, I'm aware of its flaws, such as the fact that the game was rushed, with the development team working 3 whole years on just the engine, and in 1 year they just finished the game like that. I'm also aware on how short the game is, the fact that Chaos and Shadow don't even have a boss battle on Infinite, while he is a cool villain and a cool rival to Sonic, he isn't properly developed, the story wasn't that great, classic Sonic's gameplay and physics weren't that great in this game, there are some automated sections in this game, there's so many plot holes that you can just pick around in this game, and that the PC port of this game had crashed on its first day of release, and that this game costs about $40 to $50, whether it's on PC, Xbox One, PS4, or the Nintendo Switch. It costs more than Generations and Mania, but the game isn't that bad because there's some good things about it, such as playing Modern Sonic and Shadow was awesome again, so was creating your own avatar and playing him. The soundtrack was awesome, minus a few of classic Sonic's themes, the visuals were amazing, some of the bosses were overall fun, and overall I just had a fun time playing this on my channel. Overall, I think Sonic Forces is just a good Sonic game and just a good game. It's not great nor awful as compared to some other terrible Sonic games. And hey, if you don't like the game, then that's okay. More power to you. This review is basically my opinion and my opinion alone, as I talk what my personal thoughts about the game is overall. So if you don't like it, that's perfectly fine. But personally, I think this is a good game regardless. Hence why I'm going to give it 3.5 infinites out of 5. Anyway, thanks for watching. So punch that like button, drop down a comment, and kick that subscribe button if you're new. Now see you guys in the next video. Mad Kaiser out.